Hello English learners, my name is Michael. Welcome back to the English with Michael YouTube channel. I want to be a little bit quiet now because it's so peaceful here. I don't want to disturb the peace. But I'm making a video today because it's really hot in the UK. So today it is, I think at the moment it's about 26, 27 degrees Celsius. And depending on where you're from, this may not be hot for some of you. But for England, it's very hot. And we're kind of going through a heat wave at the moment. So a heat wave is kind of like a period with unusually high temperatures. Now I've come to this beautiful park today because I want to kind of explain some of the British mentality around the weather, also share some good vocabulary related to hot weather and heat. And yeah, as I often like to do, just show you the views, show you the beauty around London, and hopefully you can kind of join me on this walk as well. So I think a lot of people will kind of be wondering, is the weather in the UK really that bad? And I want to show you in this video that it's not always true. I think the weather can be quite changeable. So, in the morning we can have sun, in the afternoon we can have heavy rain. You never really know what's going to happen. So it's good to kind of come prepared, bring an umbrella, bring a jumper, a coat, and also some shorts maybe, who knows. But in my opinion, the summer in the UK is very nice because it's not too hot, not too cold, usually kind of 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. And for me, that's perfect. But yeah, let me know in your country, what is the summer like? Is it too hot? Is it too cold? Let me know how it compares to your country. So of course, as you know, the stereotype is that the weather in London and the UK is very bad. I used to think it was as well, but once I kind of traveled a bit more, I kind of saw other countries, I kind of changed my mind. The weather here is not as bad as it is in many other countries where they have extremes of hot and cold. In the UK, it never really gets very cold or very hot. It's kind of mild in the middle. And we have 4 seasons as well, 4 distinct seasons, which I think is really nice. I have a theory as to why we have a reputation for bad weather. And I think it's because we love to complain. British people love to talk about the weather. And when it's not perfect, we love to kind of complain and moan about it too. So even though it may not be the worst country for weather, people here probably complain more than people in other countries. Maybe. That's kind of my experience anyway. But one thing I think is really cool about the UK is people are so excited for hot weather. So in some countries, especially if you're more around the equator, it's just very ordinary. It's not a big deal. But in the UK, it's so changeable. You cannot guarantee it will be hot for very long. Sometimes you might just have like a week of summer or something like that. So when it is sunny, people tend to flock to the beaches. They tend to go to the parks, like I'm going to show you today, and they crowd around, they take their shirts off, they try to get a suntan. So people do get very excited about the hot weather here. And I think it always puts people in a good mood as well. So you can really tell the difference between people's mood. They're much more smiley, much more open and friendly when it's sunny. So maybe we'll see that today, maybe not, but let's have a look around. So, it really is a scorcher today, a scorcher. So this is a kind of a casual, good expression. If it's a scorcher, that means it's really hot. You kind of have to watch where I'm walking now because all of these brambles here, spiky brambles. But yeah, it's really good kind of a small talk expression. So if you walk past someone in the street, you can say, oh, it's a scorcher today, isn't it? What a scorcher of a day. Really, really hot. But yeah, I'm kind of on my way to go to the shop because I really need to buy some sun cream or sunscreen. So this is the cream you put on your skin to protect yourself from the harsh rays of the sun. You can call it sun cream or sunscreen. It's really the same. I have quite a pale complexion, so I need to get a lot of sun cream so I don't burn in the sun, right? So I'm kind of on my way there, but I thought I would make a quick video on the way to share with you. Because it's such a sweltering day, I kind of expected to see more people. It's quite quiet, actually. Maybe people are inside trying to stay cool. British people generally don't do well in heat. But I expect we'll see a few more people in a minute when we get to the main park. But spider web in my face. But yeah, there's another good word, sweltering. So we can say, I'm in the sweltering heat. It's a sweltering day. It's another word that just kind of means really hot, kind of uncomfortably hot. So when was the last time you had a sweltering day where you live? One more thing to remember before you judge us too much for not being able to cope with the hot weather or the hot weather is remember we don't usually have air conditioning in England either. So I think, I researched this the other day. The hottest recorded temperature in England was 38 degrees. And this was I think it was in the southeast in 2019. So quite a recent one. And think about 38 degrees, no air conditioner, no AC, so you had to just deal with the heat. And British homes are generally made with good insulation, so they're designed to keep the heat inside the house. And because of that, it can get very hot. So if you see kind of dark circles under my eyes, that's because it's very hard to sleep in this heat. So perhaps this is because of climate change and global warming, but summers are getting hotter and hotter year by year, and we're kind of not really equipped to deal with it. So something to consider if you don't like the heat and you kind of rely on air conditioning, it's one thing to consider before coming to England, I would say. But usually, summers are quite nice. So here's the park, the main part of the park anyway. And yeah, surprisingly, it's very, very empty. It is a weekday, but I thought there'd be people crowded around sunbathing everywhere, but there's not. So yeah, perhaps it is really too hot and people are inside and trying to stay cool. Maybe they've gone to the beach. Okay, it's nice and cool in the shade now. So 2 more phrases that I can share. If you don't remember anything else from this video, remember this one. This is one of the most common phrases to say, and this is boiling hot. You may know we use boiling to talk about water when it reaches 100 degrees Celsius. We can also use it to talk about the weather. It's kind of like an over-exaggeration. So it's boiling today. It's boiling hot. So if you want to kind of make small talk with someone and talk about the weather, then I recommend using that one. It's boiling hot. The other one you could try is stifling. This is a bit of a harder one, but stifling, say it's stifling hot, it's a stifling day. It kind of means like it's uncomfortably hot, almost like you're choking. Like it's so hot, it's hard to breathe. So a little bit like today, it's maybe not too bad today, but you could say it's a stifling day. It's almost hard to breathe. Maybe because of the humidity or maybe something like that. But yeah, let's continue on and see if we see anything cool. So there are many people around here who are sunbathing, and this is really important pronunciation that I think a lot of people get confused with. So this phrase, this word to sunbathe comes from the word like bath, to have a bath in the sun. The word bath, when it becomes a noun, we add an E to the end, and it's pronounced with a long vowel, like bathe. Sorry, there are some squirrels fighting in the tree and they totally distracted me. So yeah, when it's a verb, we say to sunbathe. Not sunbath, but sunbathe. People in England, generally they love to sunbathe, and this is to get a suntan, or we can just say tan for short. So this is when your skin goes a bit darker because you've been in the sun. So we call it a tan. So this can be both a noun and a verb. We can say, I have a tan, I have a suntan, which means my skin is a bit dark, I have a tan. Or we can say it as a verb, like I am tanning. I'm tanning on the beach, or she is tanning on the grass. Another good phrase, kind of a funny expression, is exactly what I have, and this is what we call a farmer's tan. I've got a few different ways to call this, but farmer's tan, as I would say, is when you kind of get the tan lines where you've got dark arms, maybe dark legs as well, dark neck, but then everything below your shirts, like everything on your shoulder, is very, very white. So you have like a line here to show your tan. We call it a farmer's tan. And most people here hate it. I guess people everywhere wouldn't like that. But I definitely have that because I don't get out in the sun very often. But when I do, I'm always wearing clothes, and now I have a really weird tan line on my arm. I guess the final expression that I could share is one that you can only really say when you're inside. But I don't really want to go inside today. It's too hot, it's too beautiful outside, so I'm staying outside. But if you do go inside, you can say, "Oh, it's like a sauna in here." Or you can say, "It's like an oven in here." So we're kind of using this simile, this sauna oven, just means it's really hot. Maybe it's kind of a subtle reminder to open a window. Oh, it's like a sauna in here, it's like an oven in here. You can use them to talk about the hot weather or the hot temperature inside. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little video. I hope you enjoyed my little walk around the park. And your challenge now is to leave a comment below and tell me about the weather where you live. But you're not allowed to use a simple word. So try to avoid using a word like hot or cold. Try to tell me about the weather and use kind of a more complex adjective. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the weather in England and what I've shown you today. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.